Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. This is CJS News. I'm Twyla Morris. An inquest jury has criticised Gwent Police for having insufficient knowledge of a Newport man's medical condition after he died as a result of cocaine use. Mohamed Bashir was 29 when he was restrained by police when he suffered a cardiac arrest after a medical episode brought on by long-term drug use. His family from My Glass say they want authorities to have a better understanding about how to handle this condition in future. Campaigners are calling for at-home smear tests to be introduced in Wales. This comes after 4.6 million women in England and Wales didn't turn up to their smear appointment in 2023. Our reporter Sharon Hutchings has more. Sharon, why aren't people going to their smear tests?
Well, there are three main reasons. It's the lack of time, lack of education, and there's a stigma around getting tested. So this is why Molly Felton has started a petition for at-home testing kits. It's already been tried in England, and Public Health Wales are eager to try this soon and to introduce it in the next 5 years. There are some concerns, however, about this at-home testing scheme. We spoke to cervicular cardiologist Sarah Butt, and she said this.
We've got the advantages of having those procedures done within a surgery, within a medical setting. They're done by a medical professional, tests are carried out, and they are sent off. Obviously, the idea of cervical screening at home is a fantastic idea, but of course, we've got the disadvantages.
Still very much early days for the at-home testing kits, but Public Health Wales will be keen to see what the results are from over the border.
Thanks, Rhiannon. People who rent in Cardiff say they want more financial support from the Welsh Government. The latest figures show that Wales has had the highest increase in rent prices compared to anywhere else in the UK, making it a struggle to get onto the property ladder. Chloe Seaton reports.
Owning your own home is a distant dream for many. With the cost of living rising and rent prices in Wales increasing year on year, people are finding it impossible to get onto the property ladder. I spoke with Alfie White, who has been trying to save for a deposit on his first home. He says the rental market is so competitive and this is pushing prices up.
I think it's really tricky. I think it's super competitive at the moment, and the prices are rising. I think I'm on my sort of 8th or 9th flat I'm viewing in the past month with no luck, which sort of says it all.
Recent statistics show rental prices in Wales increased by 7.1% in the last 12 months. This was the highest of all the countries in Great Britain, with Scotland seeing a 6.3% increase and England seeing a 6.1% increase. In his bid to be Wales's next First Minister, Jeremy Miles says that he will bring in a rent-to-own scheme in this manifesto to help tackle the housing crisis. But will it work? In a previous scheme, people in Wales could save a lump sum towards a deposit whilst renting their homes. But only social housing landlords signed up to the scheme. Megan Cooper, a social housing officer, argues that a scheme like this will not work.
Cardiff's got a massive housing crisis at the moment, and there's a housing crisis in the world actually at the moment. So given that, I don't feel, how can you sell off social properties when, you can't build them at the rate that they may be sold off?
So, is a rent-to-own scheme the answer to Cardiff's housing crisis? For now, renters will have to wait whilst prices rise, pushing the idea of getting onto the property ladder further away. Chloe Seaton, CJS News.
A man from Bridgend has been convicted for the 112th time after urinating on police. Gavin Mark Davis pleaded guilty to 3 offences, including outraging public decency and criminal damage. George Scotland reports from Cardiff Magistrates Court.
I'm stood outside Cardiff Prison, where Gavin Mark Davies will spend 8 weeks for his 112th offence. The 41-year-old from Bridgend was found guilty for outraging public decency, criminal damage and a public order offence. In December last year, Mr Davies stood on top of a roof where he urinated on police officers and threw tiles at them. He also used homophobic slurs. George Scotland, the CJS News.
A workshop in Newport that fixes broken items instead of throwing them away says plans to cut a scheme which gave them vital funds is worrying. For the last 6 years, the Welsh Government has given environmental projects money which comes from the tax of landfill sites. But plans to reduce the amount by £1 million has been criticised over the Government's commitment to the climate crisis. Claire Georgina reports.
You break it, they fix it. This is Remake, a repair cafe in Newport. Whether it's your old drill or an iron, these volunteers will fix it for free. This shop exists because of money which comes from taxing of landfill sites. The Welsh Government scheme helped 80 community projects in the last year, but due to the budget cuts, the future of the scheme is in doubt.
So we were set up through the landfill tax, which was a large grant to get us going. Sustainability wise, our aim is to be self-sufficient. Well, if we came along today, we wouldn't be able to benefit from it, and other organisations. So this is just one of a handful of standalone sites that do this. To do it well, it does cost a lot to set up.
The Welsh Government have proposed to cut funding by £1 million in their draft budget for 2024 to 2025. The organisation that distributes the money says that closing the scheme isn't the right move.
Well, of course, these are hard times and government has to make hard decisions, but we really do believe that this is counterproductive, both for local communities and to the Welsh Government's overall ambitions to create a greener and fairer Wales for all.
We asked the government to clarify if the scheme is being stopped and why they are reducing funding, and they told us. Our budget position for 2024 to 2025 is exceptionally challenging. This has meant having to make some very difficult but considered decisions. Unfortunately, reducing the budget for the landfill disposables tax community scheme is one of several such decisions. However, this is not the end of the programme. For organisations like Remake, the future of this funding hangs in the balance. Claire and Janina, CJS News.
Now, a teenage author has created journals in Welsh for children to help improve their mental health. Following his sister's struggle with anxiety, Gwilym Morgan has published a worry diary for children to write down their feelings. Lara Mertes reports.
Gwilym Morgan may still be doing his A-levels, but is already a published author. He's created what he calls a worry diary in the English and Welsh language to help children express their feelings.
We need to ensure that it's accessible through Welsh, not just for those who had it as their first language, but those of us who've learnt it and want to use it in our everyday lives. If that means writing your worries down every night in Welsh, that helps both your mental health, but also the vision and the increasing numbers in the Welsh language.
The Deputy Minister for Mental Health, Lynn Neagle, said in a statement, "It is vital that mental health care through the medium of Welsh is actively offered. After all, in mental health, speaking one's own language is part of the therapy." Experts agree that access to Welsh mental health services is vital.
Within therapy, what we do is we try to put a name to experience, a name to feeling. And for someone whose first language is Welsh or uses predominantly Welsh, they may have to think to translate something into English. So it's like an extra barrier, but it can be an extra barrier.
Gwilym is positive about the future of Welsh language accessibility.
We just need to make sure everything is equitable through the language, that everyone has access to everything they want through our language, our second language, third language, first language, whatever you may be. If you can get the services you need through the medium of Welsh, that's hugely going to help our future.
Gwilym is planning to study Welsh at university next year and hopes to become a Welsh teacher to encourage others to study the language. For now, he's looking forward to the next chapter. Lara Mertes, CJS News.
Wales kick off their Six Nations campaign in Cardiff tomorrow as they take on Scotland, and with the youngest captain in more than 50 years. And at this morning's press conference, head coach Warren Gatland has got his way, as the roof of the Principality Stadium will remain closed. Our reporter Manon Jenkins has sent us this report from the Principality Stadium.
So I'm stood outside the Principality Stadium, and it may not look like much now, but in 24 hours time this place will be packed full of Welsh and Scottish fans as Wales takes on Scotland in their first Six Nations match. Now this morning Adam Beard said, "Don't rise off just yet, but what do the Welsh fans think of Wales' chances?" Fans will be descending on the Principality Stadium tomorrow, ready to take on the Scots. Wales hasn't lost to Scotland in Cardiff in over 2 decades, but what are fans expecting from the team's opening game?
I think it's a free hit, the whole Six Nations now. The World Cup's in 4 years. You have 4 years to prepare. You're a 21-year-old captain. It just only gets better.
Well, I think that because of the youthful squad, I think they'll be really raring to go. They're gonna want to show that they can do it, and I really think that I think we win.
I think we're going to really struggle this year. But we have to start somewhere, don't we? So, yeah, pick a group of youngsters and just try and gel them together and not be too critical.
I think it would be a challenge, but I saw the captain speaking and he said, you know, it was strange the first few days and they didn't have those familiar faces, but they've done a bit of training and, you know, I think perhaps it's just a new phase for them. Get out there and try something different.
The team consists of 8 players who haven't played the Six Nations before and 5 who are yet to step foot into the international arena. So what do people think about Wales having such an inexperienced team?
You look at it from a Welsh perspective, it's great to see so many young players getting their chance. What is not great is that so many players have disappeared at the same time.
After an unlucky tournament last year and a number of changes, a big challenge lies ahead for Wales in this year's Six Nations campaign. Manon Jenkins, CJS News.
Also in sport, the January football transfer window saw 6 new players join Cardiff City. Some Bluebirds fans have criticised manager Errol Boots' choice of players such as Famara Diadio on loan from Granada. Now some weather for you. We'll be seeing cloudy skies this afternoon and into this evening with a drizzle and a mild breeze at times. Tonight temperatures will see highs of 11 degrees Celsius and lows of 8 degrees Celsius. Well, that's all from us at CJS News. Thank you for joining us. P'nawn da and goodbye.